It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on Habscast.
Whoops, we just got the Panthers line up there. Uh yeah. So happy Father's Day to everybody, especially to new dad Brady Tkachuk for getting out of that hellhole of Canada back to to Florida to play with his brother. He must be happy as pie to get away from Canada that and back to the the beautiful US of A where he'll be they can keep doing their podcasts, the Kachucks, and you know, um, whatever, right off into the sunset. But huge hockey deal, two huge deals this week. There's gonna be I mean, it's hard not to envision Ottawa and Tampa, falling back a bit with the trading away Darren Radish and Brady Kachuk. And Tampa, of course, getting back Barkov, but now adding Brady Kachuk to the lineup. They've got a big, tough lineup at the top there. It's you got to wonder if and what's with all these big deals in the same conference. I thought there was an unwritten rule that you do not trade within your own conference, especially not like a big deal like that. And there's been two this week, and apparently the Habs, if the rumors are true, tried and they're still trying to get Matthew Nyes from Toronto. So all of a sudden, that unwritten rule that you don't trade within your own conference is out the window, and apparently it's the only way you can get these deals done. But uh this is I mean, Ottawa, I guess, is building for the future at this point. I thought, after all that went down at the Olympics and stuff, that Brady was on his way out. I mean, it just made sense, right? Yosemite Saddam saying that I'll be happy to see less of Brady's head on my TV. Yeah, he's got a big noggin, eh? There's no doubt about that. Um, that no more of that. He'll have to get a red mouthpiece now to hang out there, just like his brother. The two of them can maybe. I wouldn't doubt there a couple times when they're crossing each other, because apparently they're going to play on the same line. That the two mouthpieces hanging out get interlocked and they both go flying. That'd be great. Anyway, yeah, it's the last time Ottawa had three first round picks, and they're now from a month ago or 2 months ago having no first round picks. Now all of a sudden they've got three. Um, the last time they had three first round picks, they did mighty well when they had. In fact, it was a transformational draft for them. Um, Tina, it's funny, she was on her phone and I mean Facebook, right? There's a lot of misinformation on there, a lot of rumor crap, and she says to me, "Oh, I'm seeing something here," and she usually doesn't believe him because most of the time it's not true. But seeing Brady Kachuk traded to Montreal, and that looks like a Sportsnet logo. Oh yeah, or not to Montreal to Florida. Yeah, okay. And of I log on to Twitter about 20 minutes later, and Brady is trending, and it's this and that, and hmm, Elliot Friedman saying it. I guess it was right. So I thought Florida would be coming back next year anyways with Barkov back, but now they add Kachuk to. Uh, I mean, on the surface, right? It looks pretty damn good. Let's have a look here at what we could be seeing. I mean, that top six, top nine. I mean, holy jeez. Verhaeg, Barkov, Reinhardt, Kachuk, Bennett, Kachuk. I mean, what a pain in the ass line that will be if they're together. Marshall, Lundell, Lusterainen, which was a huge, probably the best third line. That big reason why they won the cup a couple of years back. Third or fourth line, who knows? Cole Reinhardt, former senator, maybe Rodriguez in the middle, Sandis Vilmanis on the wing. It's going to have to be. It might even be two entry level contracts. I think Vilmanis probably still is because they're going to be a cap hell here. Forsling, Ekblad, Mikola Jones, Balinskis, Kulikov, and then Petrie, I guess, is an extra. Tarasov, and who knows in nets. I just don't see how they can possibly. I mean, Bobrovsky's got to be gone. You see rumors, oh well, they're going to trade Lindell for um, uh, Hellebuck. Well, how do they do it? Let's just look at their cap here. I mean, I was adding it up. Their top six forwards alone, right? Are Barkov 10 million, Matthew Tkachuk 9.5, Sam Reinhart 8.6, Brady 8.2. That should be million. Sam Bennett 8 million, Carter Verhaeghe 7 million. So their top two lines alone 51.3. Basically half of their cap space is going to their top two lines. So the other 17 forwards got a split 52.7 mil between them. Uh, you know, um, Now if you add in Ekblad at 6.1 million, Forsling at 5.7 5 mil, um, Jones 9.5 million. Thank you very much. Mikola 5 mil, and Lundell 5 mil. So there is 11 players on the Panthers with $82.6 million tied up. $82.6 million tied up in 11. So the other 12, right? There's $21 million for the other 12 players, which is less than 2 million per player on average, and the average salary is going to be more than double that in the NHL. I mean, Marchand's making a few bucks, right? I mean, it doesn't take much to eat up to get up to 20, 104 million when you're already at 82 with 11 players. So there's just no way that they could trade Lundell for Hellebuck, and Bobrovsky's good as gone. So the projected lineup. Yeah, you look at the top, you look at the first three lines. Wow, blah blah blah, right? But then it's going to be patching the bottom line, patching in nets. That's a fairly old lineup too. Like it's getting up there, right? These guys aren't getting younger. Although, I mean, other than Marchand, really everybody's still in what you would say the prime of their careers, but several are 29 plus. I mean, most of these guys. So, it's not a. It's certain. I mean, and it's an interesting way to go about it. But they're doing the Vegas of you know following the Vegas kind of blueprint where you just picks you find a way to fit to uh, have these high salaries right tied up in half the roster, and then the rest you can try to patch it the best you can. But we'll see. But that on the surface, at least, I mean that's a playoff team at the very least. Maybe they get a good goalie. Maybe they win the Atlantic. Um, uh, you know, certainly you got to think that they're going to be a better team than Ottawa next year. Ottawa, hey, they get the pick, they get the 25th pick, they get a 2029 first round pick, and they get um, a second round pick in 2030. So um, I am crazy to think Florida isn't a juggernaut. And the fact team friendly deals are going to keep room coming as the cap goes up. Silly. Okay. Were they a juggernaut last year, Michael Prentice? They didn't even make the playoffs last year with one guy out, you know, Tkachuk out a little bit. But so now they got no goalie. Yeah, Barkov back. What do you think? Brady Tkachuk's the second coming? You know what Brady Tkachuk's record is when he's not in the lineup in Ottawa? It's better than when he was in the lineup. So Ottawa, you know, yeah, they're better, but juggernaut. Let's not, let's not go overboard here. We'll see. Brady Tkachuk has never, proven that he's a winner in anything yet. Really, he's you know they made the playoffs once or twice when he was in Ottawa, and they never did anything. He's poor away from the puck. He's not a good skater. He takes stupid penalties. Should never been a captain, I don't think. So I think he's overrated. I honestly do. He's not a playmaker. Um, I don't know. I like Brady Tkachuk, but let's not, let's not crown the Florida Panthers because they got Brady Tkachuk. You know, we'll see. But the fact of the matter is that Ottawa was a better team, had a better record when he wasn't playing than when he was playing. So you know, no guarantees here. Barkov might be a little rusty. Like, let's not expect after as bad a knee injury as he had for him to come back be 100-point guy. He's now, you know, like when you look at the roster here, and I'll bring it up here, but you gotta remember, guys. When the players hit 30, they're usually, especially at forward, that they start to decline a bit. They're not getting better. Put it that way. Sam Reinhart's not going to be getting better. Marchand definitely not going to be getting better. I don't expect Barkov to be the same player he was 2 years ago. Certainly not right away. It might take him 2 years. Uh, you know, he's now what, late 20s, early 30s, or 30. I don't know for sure, but um, and then we got. I'm just going to bring up the roster here, but then on defense, 4 or 6 of their defensemen are 30 plus. Again, Ekblad just keeps getting slower and slower. Reinhardt's 30, Bennett's 29, Verhaeghe's 30, Marchand's 37, Matthew Tkachuk's 28, Seth Jones 31, Evan Rodriguez 32, Forsling and Ekblad will be 30, Balinskis, he'll be turning 30. Same with Mikkola. Um, uh, so you know, there's a fair bit of age on that roster. Nosek's another. He's 33. Um, I mean, 30-ish is not old, but at the same time, where's the young? You need some young legs as a rule if you want to, go all the way. And I don't know. It we'll see. But you know, proclaiming them a juggernaut after, especially, I mean, they were not very good last year. So all of these players going to go from not playing very well to, being juggernauts. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I know that I know that they are now um, probably the favorites to win the Atlantic Division. Now, would they be favored to beat Carolina? Maybe, maybe. I do know that that lineup is you know the top six, the top nine there looks like playoff type hockey, right? A good a good bunch. So, but yeah, again, I don't know that that they're world beaters here, but adding Brady Tkachuk will make them better. Getting Barkov back will make them better. They will need to patch up the goaltending. I know, people will say, "Well, Carolina did it without goal." Yeah, well, sort of. But Brandon Bussey played well this year. He was very good. You still have to, if they get Montembeault type goaltending, they may miss the playoffs again next year. They're gonna need decent goaltending if they wanna win. So, um, anyway, it certainly changes things in the East, and then also, you know, Toronto makes that big deal. I haven't done a podcast since that went down, and the sign and trade to get Darren Radish. Um, I I like that deal for Toronto. I think signing him to as many years, a 30-year-old defenseman to as many years, that's had one really, 30 years of age, he has his best ever NHL season, and you sign him to an 8-year contract. That's, taking a bit of a chance. Maybe he can replicate that 2 or 3 more times. Maybe not. Um, uh, he's not. He never played on the penalty kill, so he's not a defensive defenseman. They picked up Andre from Philly. That was the other deal Toronto made. So I think it probably signals the end of Morgan Riley picking up 2 offensive defensemen, right? And they still need, and they still haven't got, in my mind, a legitimate number one defenseman. I don't consider Darren Radish to be a number one defenseman. He's not, a number one defenseman plays in all situations. Darren Radish, I don't see as a shutdown type defender. They don't have, a Caden Gooley type player in their system with that, a Shea Weber. They have not had a legitimate shutdown defender since Tim Horton, as far as I'm concerned. And it's why they haven't won a cup in 60 years since they had Tim Horton. And that's still the case. Um, I think Andre and Urson getting Andre and Urson for um, Wool and Benoit is actually a downgrade in both position, in my opinion. Emil Andre is an undersized offensive defenseman. He'll get some points, but still doesn't solve this. You know, he's not a top. For me, he's puck move. He's kind of like the kid in that Ottawa picked up from LA last year. Like a nice mobile puck mover, but you expect him to defend Jordan Spence. You expect him to be a shutdown guy. I don't see it at all. Like so, I don't know. Toronto's gotten better, but as I put in my thumbnail, are they? Does this make them? Will they overtake Tampa by doing this deal? I don't know that. I don't think so. I think Toronto, they'll be better with McKenna. They'll be better with Radish. Um, but they've got to make some more deals here. I still don't see, I don't see a number one defenseman. And that to me, till you've got that, I think you're always going to be a pretender. And the Leafs through that decade that they just had did not have a shutdown, a true number one defenseman that can do it all. Um, didn't mind Morgan Riley, but he was never a legitimate number one, like one of the best, a good defenseman, but not a number one, in my opinion, at least. So, yeah, Tkachuk, uh, good riddance is what a lot of Ottawa fans have been saying. All of the Olympic crap went down, his podcast with his brother and his dad, things being said. You could kind of read the tea leaves. It was like, all right, and him getting interviewed and say, oh, could you stop asking me about this and that? Well, no, because you brought it on, son. You brought these things on yourself. So, Ottawa made the right deal, right move, I think, in trading him. I'm a little surprised they didn't get back like a roster player, especially since Florida is in cap trouble here now. Like, I'm sure they asked for Lundell, but apparently Florida wouldn't do it. Mind you, now 3 first-round picks and a second is nothing to sneeze at, and a top 10 pick to boot. So Ottawa, goes from not having any, like I said a few weeks back, to having 3 now. At 9, do they draft like an Ethan Beck Beckelts, and say, well, okay, hopefully he can be the new Brady Tkachuk? Maybe. I also think at 9 there's going to be some really, really. There's still going to be a 2 really good defensemen on the board at least. Probably Schmitz and Gustafson, and honestly, both would be perfect fits for Ottawa. And I think that's exactly what they need on defense right now. And they could, down the road there, that defense group could be really, really good. And I mean, you build from the net out, they always say. And I think, um, the Sens will have um, just an exceptional defense core going forward, one of the best in the NHL if they get to grab like Smiths or Verhoff or Gustafson or whatever of the top 6 defensemen that are still on the board at 9. And there's likely to be at least 2, maybe 3 for them to pick from. Rudolph even be there, although I have a feeling Rudolph's going to go higher than that. Maybe Verhoff drops. If that's the case, they'll gladly take him too. But yeah, the Sens are going to snag a really good defenseman, I think, at 9 to kind of complete that group going forward. That's going to really be it's going to be very good on defense, and that's a key. And then they'll have 25 and 32. There's a possibility that maybe they try to trade those to get a piece, get a player from an that can that can help. They hope can help plug the gap of Kachuk being gone. Because let's face it, that's a huge hole in their lineup right now. I don't think they want to just rebuild. They probably want to try to recoup something. They couldn't get Lundell. Okay, well, give us the picks and we'll trade with somebody else, right? And get a good forward from another team that they maybe even assign and trade, or who knows. But the I think that I'd be at least a little bit surprised if they use all 3 picks in this draft, because I do believe, they were a playoff team. They don't want to have the fans go through another, the another era, Pierre Dorian era, where they miss the playoffs for 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 straight years. they want to get fans in the seats. So I could see them trying to flip at least one of those picks to get a forward. Now, would it be the ninth pick? Maybe. If that's the case, then they're going to get a really good one, and maybe even one that can help them uh, almost as much as Brady Tkachuk. Somebody saying I take Brady before Slav all day long. Yeah, well, not me, but to each his own. I watched Brady Tkachuk for a lot of years here, and any Sens fans that did know that he's not a very good skater. He's not good defensively. He's always been like a minus, player that hasn't really had a lot of concern about keep out of his own net. And one of the reasons why I kept make not making the playoffs, he's a good playmaker. Slash a better playmaker than Kachuk, better defensively already. He's a skater. No way I would I trade Brady Kachuk Slav 1-on-1? Not a chance. Not a chance. But you know, we we all have our opinions. Don't forget, Brady Kachuk is several years older than Slav. Slav's on the way up. We've seen a level of Brady Kachuk. Like he had his best years. You know, can he better? Maybe. Maybe, but it's not like you know, uh, like playing with Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett's never been a huge point getter. So you know, uh, I mean, if he gets to play with his brother, sure, probably up his point totals. But like, let's have a look here, right? Uh, 83 was his peak in 2023, and then he's 74, 55, 59 the last 3 years. So um, we haven't seen a upward, you know, Slav Slav outscored him this past year. So, um, yeah, he missed some games, but nevertheless, he's now 26, and Slav is 5 years younger than him. So, um, Slav's on the way up. Brady's, you know, flatlined. So, um, I don't, you know, I don't, I don't foresee him ever being a 100-point scorer. He's not a creative player. He can make plays, but his best, you know, 37 assists with tons of power play time, top line, all 37 assists is okay, but it's not sensational by any means or elite. Um, anyway, my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, but any Sens fans that watched Brady Tkachuk uh, objectively over the past 7 years, or how many did he play? 7 or 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Yeah, that a good player, but often left a bit to be desired. And folks tend to overrate the toughness part of things too. You know, yeah, he's gritty. Yeah, but he also takes stupid penalties. Like the guy has cost his team countless times with his selfishness from being just a bit of a jerk on the ice. So anyway, you'd be surprised, but Ottawa fans aren't nearly as upset about this as I think a lot of people, uh, you know, um, assume. It's it's going to be interesting. We'll see, we'll see. But as far as this Tarasov isn't signed yet, yeah, who knows what their goal to? That's why I put the question mark there. Like I put down Tarasov because you had to put something down, but who knows? Like, you know, that is a huge question mark for them. So again, you know, let's not. They might have $50 left to sign a goaltender. They'll be signing Dave Ayers. Say, hey, and he'll say, "No, I'm not leaving my friggin' Zamboni job. You can't pay me enough here to be your starting goalie." Who knows? So, like, I like this here. I'm gonna hate him more. Panthers are contender for next 3 years if they find a goalie. Probably. Um, they were going to be contenders whether they got Brady or not. I think. Um, Brady is poison in Ottawa. Yeah, pretty much. That he is. By the way, I did special podcast here uh, on Father's Day. I tried to get a couple of guests on, but I do have a lot of Ottawa correspondence, but I wasn't going to ask them on Father's Day. I did ask Rocco. He's not a dad yet, anyway, but he was actually working today and couldn't get free to talk about this. But I think I'll see if I can't get Rocco on tomorrow, and we'll talk draft with Rocco as well, because the draft is coming up next week. By the way, folks, we've been Blaine Potvin posted just a sensational article on about the Habs today on on Patreon, on a Habscast Patreon page. It's one of the best. It's the best article he's ever written for me, and it's worth the $5 subscription cost for for the Patreon page. Uh, all by itself. Like it's just an excellent read. So um, I have to redo my mock draft. I've redone it twice already, and I got to do it again because now Ottawa's got the 25th pick. By the way, which was Mackey's uh, Samaskevich, he got dealt to Seattle was the other deal. So I kind of had an inkling that when that deal went down today, oh, Florida's getting another draft pick. What's going on here? They're trying to swing something with their draft picks, aren't they? And sure enough, it's the big one. Brady Tkachuk is now a Florida Panther. But on the surface, a lot of people thinking, "Oh, this is, woe is us. This is terrible. The Panthers are going to be unbeatable." We'll see. I mean, as I said there when I showed these salaries, there's you know um, 51 million just in the top six alone. Yeesh. That's basically half of their cap hit just in six players. So, and then you add in it's over 60 million if you add in Seth Jones. So seven players, over 60 million. What's left? 50, 53 million left for or sorry, 43 million left for 16 players. That's not a lot of dough. They aren't going to be getting Hellebuck, I'll tell you that much. Will Sens parlay first round picks for a player, or maybe move up? Well, they may want to move up, but good luck. How often does a team trade down? You know, like maybe they can trade the two later first rounders for like 25 and 30, 32. They could maybe trade those to pick 20th or 18th or something. But how often do teams move down? Would San Jose say, oh, okay, yeah, give us a ninth, 25th, and 32nd, and we'll move down from number two? Probably not. Even though if I was San Jose, I would really contemplate something like that because, in my opinion, they don't. the best player at 2 is a forward, and they don't need, there's going to be a really good defenseman at 9th overall, still. And it might be something for them to consider, um, something along those lines. But I don't know that moving from 2 to 9, it's hard to say. Sens didn't have much choice. I guess not. With Matthew, does his foot speed, does his game fall off? Yeah. Well, that's not going to be the fastest line in the world. That on the surface that looks like a great line, but certainly up against a fast line. You know, um, they're going to Bennett between Tkachuk and Tkachuk. Uh, up against a really speedy line. They're going to give up a lot of goals. They might get up, but they'll be on the ice for a lot of goals against too. Tarasov's not signed. Yeah, well, I'm not. Whatever. He's the backup. Tarasov won't be the starter next year. There's a big question mark there, and that's like basically like who's the starter, right? Wasn't sure if we get a good crowd out here, but yeah, it's big news. We've got over 1,000 watching on X and 167 on Habscast. Hey, if you're on X, why don't you join us? And please hit the like button, subscribe button here on Habscast too, please. I really appreciate it. I want to get up over 5,000 subscribers. I'm at 4,840 or something like that. So one of my summer projects here over the next month is to try to hit the 5,000 mark. So if you could be so kind as to just click the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. Let's see if we can't get this number up to 5,000. That's a nice round number of subscribers to have, and it would be much appreciated if you could help get me to that number. It'd be great. Nobody in Atlantic is happy about that trade. Well, hey, Ottawa was the playoff team, and now they're worse. So, you know, is Ottawa going to overtake Montreal next year? No. Is Tampa going to have more points than Montreal now that they got no? So, but will Toronto? Are they good enough now to be a playoff team? I don't think so. I mean, I expect Florida back to be contenders next year, regardless. So, how much does it really change these deals this week? Really, it means probably that Ottawa gets replaced by Florida. Tampa's not as good, so it's still going to be Buffalo, Tampa, Montreal, Florida, make the playoffs, and the other teams, Boston, Detroit, Ottawa, Toronto, fight for that other playoff spot. So, anyway, interesting stuff. All of their players are signed at under their real value. Yeah, you think Seth Jones at $9.5 million is under his real value? Let's have a look at I don't know. I don't mind Verhaeghe, but is he is he worth more than $7 million a year? Sam Bennett, who's never had one 60-point season in his career, is he worth more than $8 million? Is Brady Tkachuk really worth more than $8.2 million? Matt Tkachuk, 9.5, maybe. I don't think that they're underpaid though. Certainly not Seth Jones. But anyway, cap wise, it looks like Toronto before the window closed. Heavy front end loaded. Yeah, exactly. 7 million left for 2 goalies and 2 RFA. Yeah, I didn't do all their contracts, but yeah, there you go. David Ayers, here we go. Hey, maybe I should start. You know, maybe I should start practicing my goaltending. I could get the call here. They're going to be looking for a bargain, that's for sure. I'll play for peanuts. Zito, you got my number. Get in touch. Uh, they have 3 great D-man. Toronto had no D-man. Yeah. Well, hey, Forsling's really good. Mikla's good. Ekblad's pretty good. You know, they've got a solid and Seth Jones. Yeah, okay, the crazy guy, Michael Pratt. We need to make a move. Well, yeah. Look, this is if this doesn't inspire Kent, get on the phone. Yeah, Buffalo's making phone calls. Tampa's making phone calls. Montreal's making phone calls. Ottawa's making phone calls. They want to probably transform 2 of those picks into a good player so they can stay in the hunt here. Detroit, they're making phone calls. First of all, they're trying to trade Larkin, but also Eisenman is going to want to, he knows that there's pressure for them to finally make the playoffs. Boston, same deal. They're going to be looking to make them. All of the teams in the Atlantic, it's the power division right now. It's there top to bottom. There's no real poor teams. So, uh, yeah, yeah. Montreal needs to make a move, but every team in the Atlantic is thinking the same thing. You know what? We got to make moves. And what about the Metro? Stanley Cup winners are in that division. You not think the other teams are thinking, we got to make some moves here. Um, Maybe even Carolina sit back and say, geez, look at that top 9 in Florida. They beat us easily 2 years ago. You know, we're going to have to make a move. So, yeah, every team in the East has that exact same thought today. We got to make a move. Keep up with the Joneses. Keep up with the Seth Joneses of the world. Playoff team, buddy. That is a Stanley Cup favorite. Easy. Again, let's not jump to conclusions. Without a goalie, with no fourth line, uh, are you just like they trot out Balinskis and whatever, Kulikov, that just makes you shiver? Like, hey, yeah, it's Vilmanis, Rodriguez, and Reinhardt. You still got to have 23. You got to have 23 good players to win a playoff time. Uh, you know, you not think like Carolina had like Robinson on their bottom line. Do you see a Robinson on the between Reinhardt and Vilmanis? Like anyway, we'll see. We'll see. That line with Bennett and the Tkachuk brothers will be disgusting. Well, they'll also be slow as molasses. 17 players, 28 plus. Yeah. Yep. So, like, we'll see. Yeah, they'll lead the league in penalty minutes. They'll have a lot of power. There'll be a lot of power play goals scored against them. Yeah, I mean, I like the team, but you know, speed kills. A fast team can give them a lot of headaches. Um, it'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see. All I know is that they were not a great team last year, and most of the players are coming back. So, and that was with, their all-star goalie who's no longer with them. So, again, people will look at, oh, well, they got a tough guy. Oh, they got a guy that can score goals, so they're going to be just fantastic. Well, you still need to keep the puck out of your own net. And Brady Tkachuk and No Bobrovsky is not going to help in that regard. They were the most injured team in the league last year. Come on. Okay. They were the most injured. Actually, that I know they had two guys hurt, and you just think they're just going to come back and be fantastic, Remo? You come back from an injury. How great was Matthew Tkachuk when he came back? It wasn't very good, eh? Barkov, again, if you expect him to just jump back in and be as good as he was 2 years ago after that knee injury, good luck. So, most injured teams by man games lost from what I see here. Toronto Maple Leafs, 381 games lost. Montreal Canadiens, 369 games lost. Washington Capitals, 363. Columbus, 346. And Florida, 337. So, yeah, come on. All right there, Remmel. Come on. Come on. The Habs had missed more games injured. You're thinking, oh, well, Barkov is, he missed this season, so they must have had the most game injuries missed, right? Wrong. Brady is not a player you can build around. No, but they already have Barkov who you can build around. But um, Panthers had too many injuries last year. Don't you pay attention to anything? Why do people have to be not only uninformed but then little shots like come on or don't you pay attention to anything? I just gave you the stat. They weren't even top 5 in man games lost. So like if you're going to be ignorant, at least be frickin' smart about it. You know what? You can buzz off. Like if you're going to be an asshole, buzz off. Barkov comes back 100%. They will be good again, but I don't like this for Florida. Yeah, well, exactly. Florida wins the cup by hurting everyone, so fits right in. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Oh, we're getting lots of comments in here. Good. All right, let's get to more comments here. If you're at least, if you're gonna be asshole, at least be an informed asshole. That's all. If you're gonna correct me, actually have facts. All right. I feel McTavish is overrated. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't know that McTavish is the answer there. To be honest with you, did I freeze for a bit? That's because I was looking up stats. Sometimes when I look up stats, there's a little freeze in action happen there. Wayner, thanks for letting me know, but nothing I can do about it. Um, as long as Montreal doesn't send back Monty to Florida and beat us. Yeah. Yeah. Better not trade him back there. Could come back to haunt us. Oh, that's a good point, too. Yeah. Ottawa's got a lot more cap space now, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they're maybe they try to land Larkin or something like that. Who knows? But I don't think Larkin would go to Ottawa though. Um, they're going to manage their energies during the regular season and will blast to the Stanley Cup. Yeah, well, again, we'll see. Sir Brady might. People are talking like Brady Tkachuk's like he hasn't won anything. I'd love to see the stats, but it's true. The Ottawa's a better team. Was a better team without him than they were with him. So, and anyone that just thinks that Brady Tkachuk's gonna take him to the promised land, it's guaranteed. We'll see. We'll see. Florida has no first for the next 5 years. Oh, there you go. I'm curious if Tkachuk went for this, then what is the value of Nyes and Wilson? Well, what you think Nyes is worth more than Tkachuk? Probably not. They're not going to get more for Nyes than Ottawa did for Tkachuk. I mean, you know, he was a captain. He's considered to be a tough guy, big, bigger and meaner than Nyes, right? More proven. Nyes and Wilson's 34 or whatever, so neither are gonna fetch more than Tkachuk did. Not saying that Tkachuk should, but he did, and he will get more value on the trade market than both of those guys. I'm not, maybe you're not saying that you think that they're worth more. Maybe you're asking just, what is the value of those guys? Not as much, you know, for the reasons that I mentioned, Raheel. Thank you, thank you, everybody. There's lots of new names on here. I appreciate you too uh, chiming in here. They're already Stanley Cup favorite. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, they did, but that was 2 years ago, and they had Bobrovsky, right? He was a big part of it. Those defensemen are 2 years older now. Barkov's not going to be as good next year as he was the year before. So imagine we could have had BT for nothing and took KK the bust. Yeah, well, imagine not having Slav, Demidov. You know, they'd have taken Brady Tkachuk. They wouldn't have Slav and Demidov, right? So I prefer how things turned out. Wait, Florida will be a nasty opponent. Yep. Monty to Florida, please. Again, who cares? What? Do Canadians need more draft picks? No thanks. Laughs are a lost cause. They are. At least no space for AJ Greer. Yeah. I'm not the biggest AJ Greer guy. McTavish or Larkin or Kyrou may end up. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Well, none of them. McTavish, I don't think they're solid down the middle, and so McTavish and Larkin don't really make sense. What they need is a winger to replace him. Kyrou's certainly a different type of winger. I don't know that they want an outside guy. I think they probably want a big, uh, maybe Nyes. Maybe they tried for Nyes. Keep the Atlantic Division trades going here. Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was just saying. You can't you can't live in the past on draft picks, guys. Especially when like, yeah, if you'd have got this guy, then you wouldn't have sucked for a couple of years and got Slap and got Demidov, so or Reinbacher, who's going to be good. Trust me. Puck movement is what they need. To be fair, no one thinks Andre is their savior. To be fair, no, not to be fair. They need shutdown defensemen. They need a number one defenseman. Didn't say that Andre is their savior. He's like 5'9", 5'10", not a very good defender. Philly's not sad. I know some people in the Philly organization, they're not that sad that Andre's gone. So, to be fair, thank you, Andrew. I'm not a big fan of the to be fairs. You might notice. Monty to Florida for their remaining first rounder. Yeah, there you go. Florida will be going after Gibson or maybe sign Skinner. They don't have the cap space, my friend. Like somebody mentioned there, they've got $7 million for 2 goalies and 2 free agents. They don't have the room. They just don't. They get average goaltending to stay healthy. Going to be tough. Yeah. Well, they'll be good. They're legitimate threats. There's no doubt about that. But let's not anoint them here. They're not going to be a fast team. That's for damn sure. And speed gets a lot done in today's NHL. Leafs are trying hard to put together a winning team, but don't have enough prospects or draft picks to fix their weaknesses. Well, their big weakness, I think, is still not having legitimate top pairing defense. How can he stay in? They don't have the money. Not a great return for such a dominant player. Sens historically draft well, so there's hope in Ottawa. Sometimes they draft well. Tyler Boucher, there's been a few. You talk to Sens fans, and there's been some hiccups, but they've drafted well at times, and they haven't drafted well at times. They have the year they had the 3 first rounders, though. They drafted very well. So, yeah. I heard Nyes and Byram could be traded for each other in a package. Buffalo, yeah. So they get a third puck moving undersized defenseman. Maybe they think that's the answer. I don't know. Picks are a win later mentality, maybe. Yeah, if they keep them. Again, we have to wait and see. Let's wait till after the draft to really judge that trade from Ottawa's viewpoint, because I think they may be looking to swing them to pick up somebody to replace Tkachuk. Beavis and Butthead reunite in Florida. They rarely play a full season. Yeah, they'll be that line, man. They'll play like 5 full shifts the whole game because one of them would get in a penalty every freaking shift. Imagine what Toronto would get for Matthews based on this return. I don't know. If you think Matthews is the cat's meow too. Leafs have so few draft picks the next few years. They're going to be going through some pain. Love it. Yeah. Matthews and Tkachuk are a lot different players, One's really gritty and one is not. Hey, Mark, thank you thank you for the $10. I really appreciate that. Yeah, working on Father's Day here. Uh, I figured I might as well come on and do a podcast. This is huge news. And Sheldon, thank you. Thank you for the toonie. Appreciate you having a show today. Thanks, Grant. Okay, no problem. No problem. And some of the responses are getting me uh, getting me worked up. What is it with Ottawa constantly trading away good players for practically nothing? They gave away Chikrin, Stone, Tkachuk for peanuts. Lousy management. Yeah. Well, the ninth overall pick isn't peanuts. That's a very that's a very nice good piece. 3 first round picks and a second round pick is not peanuts, Richard. You know, again, like we're not talking about Mario Lemieux here. Like there seems to be this misconception that Brady Tkachuk is just like the world's greatest superstar or something. 59 points last year. You know, 55 the year before. 3 first round picks and a second round pick for a slow, not very good defensive. Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that it's terrible, but I that's not peanuts for a 60-point score, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, we put a lot of I think there's too much emphasis put on the value of somebody that's tough too at times, right? Like I don't know. When you play over 100 games every year, you don't need to worry about all 84. Yeah. What, like Florida? They did not play 100 games last year. They didn't even make the playoffs. Matthew Tkachuk is always injured. Their top 6 never play 82 games. So let's see if they could stay healthy. Yeah, there's that point too, eh? Florida's actually going all in and not thinking of developing any prospects. You never know what Ottawa could get in draft prospects. I don't think Brady is the guy that gets them back to the top. Yeah, I think they had to deal him, and I don't mind that return for them. I really don't. And yeah, um, Florida's doing the Vegas thing, right? Just trade, 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 picks. Try to load up with vets, you know, and think of next year or and the year after only, and don't think of the future. Hey, kudos to them for you know trying it. They'll be good. They'll be contenders, but if they don't win at all, it's it's a gamble because 2 or 3 years from now, I don't think Florida like 3 years from now, I don't see Florida being that good. Uh, you know, they've got no first round picks in the next 5 years, so they can't be utilizing that strategy anymore. They've got no good prospects coming up, like none, none. Like they've got nothing on ELCs that can come into the lineup to help offset this. Um, one of the few that they did have on ELC, Samaskevich, they just dealt him. They keep dealing those guys. Lundell's no longer on an ELC. Uh, Last year, their top pick was in the 5th or 4th round. They don't have guys in the farm system coming up that can take entry level contracts that can help complement all of the salary issues that they're going to have here. So they're going to have to get you know mediocre players playing in bottom line positions, and probably not. They're going to try to win with a cheap goalie, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But you know, if they struggle to stop pucks, I don't care how, you know, how tough the team is, how tough your second line is. You're not going to be a juggernaut. You're going to be good. They're going to be good, but unbeatable. We'll see. We'll see. I've been around the game too long to know that you can't presume anything. Um, they're going to have issues speed wise. They're going to have issues with staying out of the box. Uh, will Barkov be 100% as good as he was 2 years ago? Probably not. Um, I mean, that second line against a fast line is going to have issues defensively. You can't, you can't hit what you can't catch. That there's that too. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Team built for the playoffs. They'll have to make it. Uh, I don't remember so much movement a week before the draft. Yeah, yeah, I know. Dude, that's a hell of a good roster. They're in the playoffs. They're going to be a force if they make the playoffs, dude. I'd take Sanderson for that. Yeah, Brock Besser. They can't trade 32. No, that's true, eh? Good point. Thanks, Sens fan. The 32nd pick can't be traded, but the ninth and uh the two picks they just got can be traded. So um and their second round pick. How about Brock Besner? Raheel, you were posting a pile, eh, buddy? Don't think Montreal is going to do nothing until the draft picks. Alrighty. They most likely won't move up the draft. They're trying for Robertson. Okay. Or I wouldn't be surprised McTavish. Oh, McTavish is the hometown boy. Uh, you never know. Isn't getting more for Larkin. Probably not. Ottawa might be a hated team as well for Florida being elite. Again, let's not be counting our chickens. They're not hatched, my friends. Bobrovsky or Stuart Skinner is my guess. Okay. Question is if Robertson wants to come to Canada, McTavish knows Deos from Junior. Yeah. And McTavish is a cart boy. You never know. McTavish should be a good. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing McTavish in Ottawa. That one makes sense. I don't know about getting Robertson. Chicago is eating some of Jones' salary. That's right. Good point. God, only paying him $7 million. Yeah, well, still paying him too much. Connor Hellebuck is heading for Florida. Then I'm not sure if anyone can do anything to them. Again, Raheel, I guess you weren't listening, but what a there's a thing called a salary cap, my friend. Hellebuck's not heading there. Hughes is on the phone as we speak. Yeah, Leafs can't be happy. They wanted more for Nyes, rumors say. With that trade, the Panthers now don't have a single first round pick for the next 3 drafts. They better not miss the playoffs again. Trey Lubin is making a phone call to order pizza. Okay. Raheel, you need to start your own podcast there, my friend. I don't think Hughes is sitting on his butt. No. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. Not as I like uh Montreal's depth on defense better. They're in the mix, sure, but Stanley Cup favorite, buddy, calm down. Yeah. All cup winners have depth along with solid goaltending. That's true. I believe Hughes will make moves, not but the right ones. Watch him wait till the last minute to announce something. Yeah, that could be. Bennett is very fast. Okay. I'm a hater. What are you even tuning in for? Bye. Bennett is very fast. Jesus, Murphy. It will take an overpayment to get Nyes or Wilson. Yeah, it will. It will. Barkov was great this summer. What do you mean this summer? It's not even summer yet. Is that a prediction? Tkachuk brothers, the most hated brothers in NHL history. Yeah. I assume that you were talking about the um, the World Championships there. He was okay, but it's only the World Championships. He looked good against Kazakhstan or whatever. I wouldn't get too excited. Montreal cannot afford to start the 20 with Kapanen as your second line center. He wasn't even in the lineup in the playoffs, so why would you be assuming that he would be starting as the second line center? Montreal, Habs. Hughes isn't trading for a better center than Kapanen. Too expensive. He won't pay the price. Okay. Be smart about being ignorant. Yes, exactly. You're getting it. You're going to be ignorant. Be smart about it. Insult somebody when you're wrong. It just makes you look really stupid. You're already stupid, but even stupider. Top Panthers players, we heard that is a bad start. Yep. The top Panthers players were injured. That stat is wrong. Okay. Do you guys feel upset with this trade in that Ottawa is getting a lot of first rounders? No. Barkov is a top three center. He was. And again, you got to wait till we have to wait and see. He's overcoming a horrific knee injury. He was a top three center. He's now what? Going to be 30, coming back, missing an entire year with a really bad knee injury. He was a top three center, and we'll see if he's still a top three center. Well, love how many comments we're getting on here. Lots of good stuff. I don't know. Compound Dave there is in the he's trying to be a know-it-all here. What's the direction that Toronto is heading after the Radish signing? It seems like Leafs are trying to win and don't want to rebuild. Well, they're not trying to. Yeah, they're trying to win. Why would they be trying to rebuild? They've got they they just had a one off year. They're trying to bounce back. Rasmus Anderson will sign in Anaheim. Yeah. I mean, Toronto, what? They just did somebody was saying 12 best forwards of the 2020s and 3 of them were Leafs, so they're not rebuilding. Can't rebuild in Toronto. Won't allow it. Florida now needs help in goal. Maybe they'd like to deal with the Habs. Yeah, that one's already been mentioned. I'm not a Brady fan. Enjoy the sun, but yeah. Cap is likely jumping another 10 million. Yeah. Puck will re-sign in Buffalo. Pat Kane will sign in Buffalo also. Okay. We'll see. I don't think that makes them world beaters. Kane's best days are past him. Carolina will acquire DeBrusque, I bet, before the year or trade deadline next season. Maybe, eh? Yeah. All right. I'll answer a few more comments here as we go along. Just want to give a shout out to these guys, Bonachera Caves. They've been great sponsors. Private family-owned business run by hockey fans. It is a really cool spot to go to in the summer, folks. BonacheraCaves.com. You can see the web address at the bottom. Go have a look, and there's some really cool stuff there. 613-628-2283. It is located near Eganville, Ontario, which is basically an hour from Ottawa in the beautiful upper Ottawa Valley. Highly recommended, folks. You go there, you can pick up a copy of my book, Valley Snapshots, for free. So basically, you get in free to a tour of the Bonachera Caves because my book is worth as much or more than your admission cost, which is only $25 to the beautiful Bonachera Caves, Eganville, Ontario. Go check it out, folks. It's really cool spot. And Chris is a buddy too. Here he is holding a copy of my book, Valley Snapshots, which you can get for free. I left 200 copies there. There's some great hockey players that I profiled in that, including Ted Lindsay, Frank Finnegan, Jimmy Poplinski, Ray Shepard, Rod Shute, on and on and on. Rod Shute, of course, was a former Montreal Canadian. All right. And also, I'll give a quick shout out to Next Level Hockey. I'll be doing a seminar there after the draft, early July. Looking forward to that. Located in Montreal. You got a young aspiring hockey player looking to improve their hockey skills. Contact Next Level Hockey at nextlevelhockey.com. Their Instagram is at nextlevelhockey_. Go check them out. Great place to get your hockey skills honed. Next Level Hockey. It's in the name. All right. Mantha will resign in Pittsburgh. Probably. Can someone tell me what Brady has ever done in the playoffs and how you think he'll start magically performing in Florida? Yeah, some people want to mail Florida the cup here for getting Matthew Tkachuk. Again, I'll bring this up. On the surface, yeah, that second line looks tough, but you know, Who are they going to catch? Like the Tkachuk brothers and Bennett. Bennett's not slow, but he's certainly not a speedster. I wouldn't call him taller Cranston out there. And certainly the Tkachuk brothers aren't fast. Um, I don't know. And they'll be in the penalty box, like I said. They'll play about 5 full length shifts per game, and one of them will be taking a stupid penalty before the end of every other shift. So, yeah, whatever. We'll see. I ain't anointing them the cup just yet. Didn't Robertson play as junior in Kingston? He did. I don't know if it's refusing to play in Canada. Just see asking for like 10, 11, 12 million. Is Ottawa? Yeah, maybe. Bontoon, g'day, sir. Uh, does making a move for Braden Schneider make sense? Maybe. Maybe making a move for him. Johnny Carlson is also going to be available too, right? Maybe they consider. I know he's getting long in the tooth or whatever, but they might consider signing him for a couple of years. I mean, I'm not that excited about that, but maybe. He certainly was a great defenseman, but it's a possibility. The Anaheim's got a couple of guys that are going to be available. Vets, right side, maybe. Schneider. I'm not over the top with Schneider. I certainly like Reinbacher better long term, definitely, and even maybe this coming season. So we'll see. Um, yeah, let's trade for Colton Dock and Ryan Suzuki. Seems like having brothers is a new thing. Yeah, and draft the Ruck brothers. Lots of Ruck with that. Seems like players wanted him out. Does that mean Sanderson wanted him out as well? I don't know. That would be speculation. Maybe the only brother Montreal could use is Tuck, but he'll be too expensive for our liking. Yeah, I get Tuck too. Maybe I could root for Ottawa as a third or fourth choice now that Brady's gone. Yeah, yeah. Well, I live in Ottawa, and I don't. When the Habs are out of the playoffs, if and this doesn't happen too often, and the Sens are still in them, I don't root against the Sens. Certainly now the Kachuk's gone, that will help too. Look, there's a lot of Sens fans that are happy with this. They're, you know, I mean, I got one upstairs. She's a diehard Sens fan since the Olympics, especially. Um, she's she's turned against um, Brady Tkachuk and not, you know, she's not upset about this at all, actually. And there's a lot of Sens fans in the same boat. So, and that's one of the reasons, the Sens management knew this. They know that. They're they're not they're not sitting there with their ears plugged. They hear it. They've heard it. Uh, it's a mutual thing, really. It is. And Montreal, or it frees up some cap space. It's I can't see them just using the draft picks. They'll probably make a deal or two. They might even trade the ninth overall pick, although I think, they're looking at that and saying, well, you know, we could draft um, Malte Gustafsson. We could draft Albert Smits probably, or whoever out of the top defensemen is still there at 9. Um, they could look at Belkits, they could look at Wyatt Cullen, they could look at a lot of guys at 9 that will really help them down the road. And Oscar Hemming's a big, powerful, strong kid that protects the puck really well. Will score a lot of goals and set up a lot of plays in the NHL. He'll be intriguing. So yeah, it's I think what Ottawa's likely looking at here is as someone pointed out, and thank you, and I should have remembered that, but they can't trade the 32nd pick, but they could deal that 25th pick, and in a package of some sort to try to maybe land someone that can help them right now. And actually, if they end up drafting Schmitz, he could play. If not this year, within 2 years, he's NHL ready. So if Schmitz is there on the board at 9, you're getting a player that could conceivably play for them next year. That's also appealing, right? So, um, hey, folks, I'm trying to get up to 5,000 subscribers. I've been stuck in the 4,800s for a while here now. I think it was 48, 45 or something before this broadcast. If you're kind of new around here, I'd appreciate it if you just click that subscribe button and the like button. And we'll see if we can't get this by draft time. See if I can't get up to 5,000 subscribers. I'd be um, by the end of the draft weekend, I'd like to be at 5,000. So if you can help me out with that, hit subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm hearing Larkin, Tuck, Kane, and Hellebuck all end up in Florida. Yeah, they're going to double. Mark became a member for 7 months. All right. Thank you, Mark. That's a long time. Katie Wynn just became a YouTube member. Okay. Thank you, folks, for becoming members of Habscast Nation. It's much appreciated. That is cool. I like what Ottawa has done. Lots of assets to work with. Brady wanted out. Yeah, yeah. I guess they could trade that 2029 first round pick too, right? Yeah, like 5 high draft picks, or 4, sorry. I mean, 3 first rounders and a second is nothing to sniff at. Like, I know uh, uh, one person referred to it as peanuts, but I don't look at it that way, especially when one's a top 9 pick. Uh, that's a highly valuable trade chip or asset. Uh, Toronto can't rebuild now, even if they wanted. They don't have first round picks next 2 years. No, that's true too. That's right. Expect they'll continue the UFA route since they don't have a lot of trade assets. No, they don't have much young talent there. Ottawa's drafted well for the most part. They could turn that trade into a positive. One mistake they made was naming Brady captain in the first place. Maybe. Millie is overjoyed. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Millie is Wade's sister, Tina's sister. Uh, yeah, I don't doubt that at all. The only team that will be in the finals will be the Habs. There you go, Wayne. That's the freaking spirit. Not this woe is us. Oh, we can never beat the mighty Florida Panthers. You imagine Bennett, Tkachuk trying to catch Lane Hudson? Like, playoff time or not playoff time? Come on. It's going to be fun to watch. Those guys freaking get within 5 feet of them. We're trading for brothers. Why not go for Cole Hudson? There. Hey, Katie. Yeah. Well, because they'll be a little too undersized, is the thought with that. And he plays on the same side too. But yeah. I don't think it'll be happening, Katie. Then you'll get all the fans saying that the Habs are too freaking soft. Freaking out. Yeah. I agree with his approach to Florida's second line. Like he said, Ottawa is better without. Well, oh, Derek, you subscribed. Thank you, my friend. Welcome to Habs Cast. And hey, don't be shy. Chime in there. As long as you don't call me stupid, everything's good. Oh, Sam, man. Well, sorry, Happy Pat. I don't quite know what that means. Thanks, Derek. Yeah, thank you. Channel members get a free VIP post each month. I was just using it before I forget. Okay. Who on defense from Laval do you think will get a regular season look this fall? Oh, that's a good question, James. Do you see a defenseman trade coming? Well, oh, it's 9:48, eh? Frig, time flies. I still have to water the grass, or I'm going to be. I guess I'll be doing it in the dark. That's okay. We just got new sod 10 days ago and got to water it every night. So, I'll do it in the dark. There's too many people on here for me to sign off right now. Who on defense? Well, according to Pascal, he was saying that he thought Engstrom was the most ready, but he's on the left side. He could switch over to the right, I guess. He plays there a fair bit. But I think it's Reinbacher. I think Reinbacher will have a good, productive offseason. He's the young guy. He's the plum prospect there, top 5 pick. I I anticipate that he'll have a really good training camp and win a spot on the right side this season. There are hundreds of Brady Tkachuk jerseys on Facebook. Oh yeah, for sale, right? Yeah, for sale. Yeah. Marketplace in Ottawa is just, yeah, for sale. Brady Tkachuk jerseys. Yeah, I bet. We got 2 bros that MSL doesn't know what to do with. Oops, lost my English. Slipped your disco, lost your English. Yeah. This is my first year following the draft, and I really appreciate work breaking everything down. Thank you, Katie. Cool. I appreciate that. By the way, I haven't finalized my draft list yet. I got looking at a Swedish defenseman today. He's ranked pretty low by Central Scouting, and not anybody's been talking about him. And I'm looking at him and like, my goodness, this guy's good. I love him, and I'm going to feature him in the next couple days. But I got carried away. I think I did 160 clips, and I ended up sending it on Father's Day to a bunch of NHL scouts. I hope that it's like 24 minutes long. I don't know if they'll all look at it or not, but I really think this guy's flying under the radar. And I think Rick and I are going to do another draft show, maybe tomorrow or the next day. Rick was busy with the Father's Day stuff. Happy Father's Day to everybody, by the way. And but we'll be doing another draft show in the next couple days. Kenny, member for 5 months. Grant is an easy guy to support. Right on. So does this? Oh, okay. So this just is saying that you've been a member for 5 months. Okay. You didn't get a 5 months membership. All right. I get a little overexcited about that. 2029 first rounder will end up being first overall. Yeah, maybe. That's a good point. That is a good point. What do you think Laval does with their goaltending for this upcoming season? No prospect? You think Sami Montembeault would like to play Laval? Um, I don't know if they'll have a prospect, but not every year you have to have a prospect on your. You know, they'll have. They've got a couple of guys signed, Shepard and Kakkonen or whatever. Maybe one of them anyway. I haven't really taken a full blown look at it, but you don't have to have a prospect. Uh, hey, they both made the big team, right? They the the two prospects that they had on Laval are playing for the big team. Well, so you go a year without a prospect in AHL, perhaps. We'll see. That's okay. The ones that aren't ready yet are ready to turn pro. In 2 years' time, they'll have probably a couple of guys that are, a couple of prospects playing in Laval. But if they go a year without a prospect, I mean, I guess whoever playing in Laval is a prospect, in a sense. Like Kakkonen's still a prospect, I guess, but it just may not be a young prospect, right? And that's okay. I'm a diehard Ottawa Sens fan, and I really want Jason Robertson. Well, he'd be good. Um, there's so many talks right now about it, and I have 2 monitors and 1 computer waiting for a trade. There you go. Well, yeah, I don't think like Dallas isn't going to trade Robertson for draft picks, are they? Like they're in win now mode too. Uh, hope you're right, Zip fan. Mark reminded me to use my post as well. Okay. Okay, so you get to okay. All these times I thought that people were renewing for 5 months. Now I get it. Keep up the good work, Mr. Grant. Been a member for 7 months now. Thank you, VDoc. We've had some ups and downs through times, but I think it's been smooth sailing as of late. Thank you. I appreciate your support for the past 7 months. Robertson will stay in Dallas. Yes, probably. Since you've been into predictions today, what does Dallas sign Robertson for? Asking Manny. Yeah. Manny says 12.75 for 8 years. Thank you, Manny. Dubas offers Rust and Rakes. Rusty Rakes. Rust and Raquel for the 9th pick. Lots of predictions going on. We have 1,539 people watching on X. Come on down to Habscast on YouTube. Weigh in. Give us your thoughts. I'm not going to be here much longer. Press that like button. Press that subscribe button. Let's get it up to 5,000 subscribers by the draft. At the end of the draft. Can we do that? Mark or somebody, can you give me an update on how many subscribers I now have here? Am I at least up to 4,850 now? Let me know. I was trying to learn more about McTavish lately. His amount of speed burst above 20 would be the worst on the Habs. He's not fast. No. That would be the issue with Mason. I had a look at him there, Francois. And I do have a video that I will post on Patreon. I'm really tied up with the draft right now till I'm trying. I've got a mock draft that I got to change again because, and this really changes things too. When a different team has a pick, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know, I'm glad I didn't already change it once today because, Seattle giving up their pick to Florida. Glad I didn't spend an hour to go, well, who will Florida take at 25 because now they traded it to Ottawa. But I'm working on a 2-round mock draft, a revised first round and second round mock draft that I'll be putting on my Patreon page over the next couple of days. By the way, folks, Blaine Potvin wrote just a fantastic article. I may even make it free here, just to give you an idea of the content that you can get on Patreon from our great contributors. In fact, I am going to make it free. But, in doing so, I hope that you will seriously consider subscribing. Just a sec here. I'm gonna change this. Oh, I can't seem to do it by doing that. Just hang on. Edit. Free access. All right. Go check out this article that Blaine wrote. It's outstanding. And it really breaks down the Habs, what they need, what they may look for, what true cup contenders have, and what the Canadians need to be the true cup contender. It's a really, really well thought out and excellent article. But in making this free, I just ask you one little favor: $5 for the month. You're gonna get all sorts of. Well, there already is like tons of stuff that's been posted in the last 2 weeks, but tons more over the next week. And I'll do a draft review of the Habs too. I'll put up prospect videos on all the guys that the Habs pick. It'll be just loaded with exclusive content that only Habscast Patreon subscribers get. And you know what? I charge $5 a month, folks. $5 a month Canadian for it. You can't beat the deal. So let me just see here. I'll even post this, a link to this article here. I'm going to post it on X and such as well. But there is a post to right there. You can copy and paste that or whatever. You get to read that for free. I'm making it free access for everybody because I think I have about 60 subscribers. I want more than 60 people reading that article because it really is excellent. And thank you to Blaine for writing that. Happy Father's Day, Grant and everyone else here. Thank you, James. I don't know, like a lot of people here, maybe their fathers aren't with us anymore, and it's a bit of a bittersweet day for me in that regard. always think of my dad, and he's the reason why I became a fan of these guys in the first place. So, um, happy Father's Day, Dad. Quentin Miller or Volokin in Laval? No, Volokin signed for another year. VDoc. Miller, I don't think he's ready. He was a backup in Denver once once a regular goalie came back, Johnny Hicks. He was what, in the BCHL 2 years ago and just okay. So no. Jason, thank you for apologizing. Stars have 12 million in cash base, but Sagan will start the year on injury reserve. Yeah, I think that the we're up. So I got at least 5 subscribers today, eh? It's a slow slog, guys. I don't know. You know, if you press that subscribe button, your personal information doesn't get hacked or anything like that. It's just a click. You know, that's all. If you can do that, I'd appreciate it. Get this up over 5,000 after the draft. If we forget about the second liner needed, tell me about a realistic fourth liner. Yeah. Torchenko. Alex Torchenko. That's who I want them to sign. Maybe Murphy on the blue line. Bork Maverick Bork will get 2.8 million. Ben will get 1. Yeah. First overall. Too much tampering. I don't really. I'm not that sold on AJ Greer, but almost 1.5 million have viewed my content since the channel started. Grant, wow, I don't know if it's 1.5 million people, but 1.5 million views, anyways. Mark, which is pretty cool. I would hope I'd have more than, if we had 1.5 million that have viewed my content, that more than 4,850 would have subscribed by now, but the numbers are never it's never 100%, that's for sure. Guess I shouldn't mention that there's a third Jackeye brother, huh? Yeah. Not sure if you noticed, but I registered on Patreon. Quite eager to see your upcoming draft list. Yes, Francois, I did see that. So I now have your email address, so beware. Be nice. Thank you, Francois. Which means he'll now have your email address, exactly. Sheldon says that Patreon page is great bang for your buck. Thank you, my friend. We're gonna keep it rolling there. Lots of content, not just this month, every month. So thank you, everyone, for hanging in there and maintaining your membership through a couple months when things were a little sparse as far as content, but we're rolling now. Still don't know why my emails didn't get through. Yeah, I don't know either. But what it did was inspire you to subscribe. So maybe at the end of the day, it's a good thing, Francois. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to get too caught up in what's going on in Dallas. The ice cap I bought this evening cost more than $5. Happy to give what I can. Oh yeah, Hina bought me this nice Habs tea today. She said, "Tell you what, you finish the landscaping job, I'll buy you t-shirts. That's a deal. I got to put some mulch in our garden bed that we just filled with beautiful flowers yesterday. Well, I filled. I planted them. Not sure why some are so high on McTavish. He was a top 4 pick. I got another subscriber. Thank you, Maurice. Ottawa should sign Marner, Mantha, or Schwartz. Yes. It's just the thought he could solve the 2C problem some people could be grasping with him. I think it might be a little expensive too. Even though I'm a Leaf fan, I subscribed. Wow. Thank you, Nicholas. We'll try not be too good to have you with us. Yeah. We'll try not to be too hard on your lease. Grant, you mentioned acquiring a Murphy. Aren't you scared that you would condemn? Yeah. Well, just someone to say, and if a fourth right defenseman, it'd be someone like Murphy. I don't think it would condemn Reinbacher to. Pascal's kind of said he didn't think he's ready, and if you listen to Kent Hughes's season-ending press conference, it didn't sound like he thought he was ready either. So makes me think that they might sign a Murphy or whatever. A lot of it has to do with just him being having so many injuries the last couple of years, and it kind of curtailing his development a little bit. So they don't want to rush him. I know that. I think he'll be ready, but at the same time, I would not be shocked if, and the question was, who would be if they were, who would they? And I threw a name out there. Wouldn't be shocked if they sign a right defenseman here. We'll see. I'm still hoping they trade Carrier. Well, that's, and then when Reinbacher's ready, then Carrier gets dealt, right? Exactly. And they still have room for Reinbacher, but, it may not be right away. Look, folks, there's a lot of people on here, but I have to let my dog out. I have to water the lawn. I got to do a few things here. It sounds like there's lots of rustling going on. So I think I better wrap this up. Schwartz or Anthony Mantha? Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind the radish swing, but it certainly doesn't move the needle for them, I don't think. I know certain somebody, Liam, thinks it's just a fantastic deal for the Leafs. He loves Radish. Hey, if he can score 20 goals for them, that's a nice piece, right? It's called adulting in this day and age. Enjoy it, Grant. Thanks for the show. Yeah, I got to go adult. Okay, I got to wrap this up, folks. Thank you so much. Please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. We only have 71 likes. I don't like to sign off when we don't have 100, but you guys know what to do. You'll hit the like button and we'll be up. We'll get it up over 100 over the next few hours. All right. Thank you, everybody. Take care of your dog. Good night, everyone. Okay. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone. Even the two folks that I banned. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody. And great. It was a great day to talk hockey. Let's do it again tomorrow. All right. Okay. Bye for now.